Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop, so you never really know what's going to happen, right? We have an idea in Judaism. This is the Rabbi from another planet. I'm a bit Jewy. I talk about Jewy things a lot because I just talk a lot, and that's one of the things I think about. We have this idea in Judaism called hazaka. What is a hazaka? That is, when something has happened 3 times before, you can pretty much guarantee that's the way that it's going to continue. If the sun went down 3 times and came up 3 times, probably going to do that the next day too, right? Things don't really change. So, sometimes they do, however, but I'm not sure this is one of those times. We are Alex Kurtzman, bless his little heart, took over Star Trek several years ago, and it's been a disaster. Let's be fair. It's been an absolute disaster. I mean, only if you count, success and quality. It's been an absolute disaster. First we had Discovery. Wasn't bad. I thought Discovery was pretty good for the first 10 episodes. Basically until they ran out of, who was it? Brian Fuller's ideas, right? I thought, I like the new Klingons, right? I thought, okay, we've reinvented the Klingons again. We've done it 3 times before, or at least twice before. Let's do it again. Who cares, right? For me, I liked it. I know a lot of you really, really, really didn't. But and then when it came back after that Christmas break, it was just kind of like, fair. It wasn't awful, right? It wasn't truly awful. For me anyway, until season 2. Season 2, when when the last good idea was when you knew Spock was coming back, and the science officer beamed on. They had a close-up from the back of his head, and they beamed on, and you saw it was a human ear. That was the last good idea they had in Star Trek Discovery. It's over. It was over after that. That character who wasn't Spock was basically, I call him Lieutenant Mansplainer, who was basically put on to commit the awful crime of not listening to the wholly imperfect Michael Burnham, and then get blown up because of it. Because Michael Burnham was now the best test pilot for these little pod things that we never saw before in just an annoying sequence. And it just got annoying and stupid, stupid, annoying, annoying, stupid, 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 annoying, annoying, stupid, stupid, annoying. And it gets more annoying and stupid the more it traded on Star Trek lore, right? The more it went over that, the worse it got. And then came Picard, and it was even worse, right? Picard was even freaking worse! If you can imagine such a thing. I mean, we used to like Picard, I do, and it was just had no relationship to Picard whatsoever, right? So then we had season 3 and 4 of Discovery, where it turned into this really weird girl show that women, generally speaking, don't watch. Nobody really watches it. Who do they want to get to? Who's this demographic? The same demographic that Rusty Davis, the once and future showrunner of Doctor Who, is looking to bring in. So he just cast this guy called Ncuti Gatwa as the new Doctor Who I never heard of before, but he's very, very popular on a Netflix show called Sex Education. Who's it popular with? Exactly the audience that Kurtzman wants to get, right? And that's the audience that all television industry wants to get. Used to watch TV, you had 3 channels, then you had 100 when you had cable, but essentially you had 3, you had a few channels, you sat down, you watched TV, and a box tied to a wall with a big cord, right? That's how TV worked back in the day. Right? Now it doesn't work that way. People, the demographic they want, watch TV on their phone while they're doing anything else, right? When they're eating, when they're walking, I'm just looking at my kids, right? When they're doing anything else, that's that's the people they want to get to, and they have no idea whatsoever how to get to. That's what Star Trek Discovery was, a weird way of getting random lesbians to write Star Trek, right? I think that's the way I would describe it. And it was, generally speaking, awful in every way, shape, or form. Then we had Star Trek Picard season 2. And that was good for an episode, right? That was really good for an episode. It felt like Star Trek. I was like, what's going on with this? It's very strange. Then we had episode 2, and it felt like, oh, it's now we're in a mirror episode, and then by episode 3 it was just weird, careening left and right, and Orange Man bad, and climate change, and Doctors Nooney and Sung and Khan and Borg, and this and that. It's Ocean's 11, and then it's Star Trek Immigration, and like massive handbrake turn. So when Star Trek Strange New World, I forgot the equally awful, and it's or the eminently forgettable Lower Decks, right? Lower Decks very, very clearly was Seth MacFarlane's pitch for Star Trek Orville, right? That was very, very clearly his pitch, and the episodes they used for the first season were the log lines he wrote down for the episodes in his pitch. It was and just done by people who don't understand and hate Star Trek and humanity. Let's have a terrible, horrible black woman be the main character. And I'm not saying all black women are horrible. I'm saying this woman who happened to be black was also horrible, had no moral value whatsoever, and will do the opposite of anything in Star Trek, right? In fact, Raffi from Picard, you can pretty much tell what a Starfleet officer will do by doing the exact opposite of Raffi. So anyway, when Star Trek Strange New Worlds came around, I didn't have much hope. We had a thing called Hazaka, right? It's like it's been awful before, and awful again, and awful again. It's probably going to continue being awful. So I'm a bit surprised it's not awful, right? At least not awful yet, right? Because listen, you had me with Picard for that first episode. It's not awful yet. I would say it's not good. It's not TV that I'm excited to watch. I'm in the middle of watching Severance. I got 2 more episodes of watching that, and I can't wait to watch it. I'm addicted to that. That's really, really compelling. I'm not really into it that much, but man, does it look pretty. Oh my god, the design work is wonderful. And it just looks gorgeous. We're going to be talking about a lot in this review. It looks freaking gorgeous. But is it objectionable? Like, is it hateful to most of the audience as Star Trek Discovery and Picard has been, and Lower Decks is? Is it absolutely hateful? Thus far, no. Right? Thus far, it's not. And for me, it's important to be honest. For me, it's important to tell the truth. And so I can't say, oh, this is the worst ever. This is the worst thing ever. It's surprisingly not awful. Is it good? No. Right? I won't go as far as say it's good. Right now, the needle has been moved from -50 to 0. I think they got potential to make it good, right? I think they got potential to make it good. The characters they're saddled with are a bit too box checking for me. The security officer who's who's a pretty successful actress I've seen in England in a bunch of things as security chief, and the lesbian, Hispanic, or Latinx, they probably, Hispanic people hate the word Latinx. They never heard of it, but with the side of a head shaved helmsman who has a cocky sneer, although they should get rid of those 2 characters. They're maybe I'm going to be talking about a lot in this review. Make was it Uhura look sexy? I mean, it's not that the actress isn't sexy. She's pretty darn attractive, but they dress her like a little boy. Other than that, it looks like they're trying to build up the interpersonal relationship and the characterization of the people so you actually get to like and care about them right now, which I'm kind of interested in. It's not the original Star Trek. This is clearly in a different universe. Surely Spock's sideburns say that more than anything else. It's very much in a different universe, which I like. I think it makes it good. Maybe change lore, go in a different direction, but as long as you do something interesting, keep it and not be actively antagonistic to much of the audience, I think we might have some hope. Fine, with that very long introduction, like, share, subscribe. Thank you very much. YouTube likes the sharing now, apparently. Like, share, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. Sign up to my Substack, sign up to my paid Substack, comment again, share a lot. And if you have large sums of Bitcoin and you want to send them to me, that's fine, even though it's not doing well. That's absolutely fine. I won't stop you doing that, because that's just the kind of guy I am. You know, I'm a big-hearted lug. That's how they describe me. Fine, let's get to the review. Let me hand over to, you know, my other self, who is amazingly as stunningly sexy as I am. Let's hand over to him right now. Da, 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 da. So they got this opening now, right? They got this Star Trek opening. They think they kind of worked out what they want to do, right? And they want to make people want to watch this stuff. And it's actually quite... So this is kind of akin to, and it's better than the opening that you have to all the Lucasfilms, the Star Wars shows, you know, when they have that annoying light across the infantile versions of Star Wars masks, right? And Kylo Ren. So this is the same sort of thing. So yeah, listen, Picard was awful, beyond awful. It's just stupid and insane. Discovery is even worse. I mean, like a lot worse. And Lower Decks, no. I would rather have a fish shoved up my ass, quite frankly. And so I just assumed this is going to be awful, right? I think it was a fair assumption, right, that this is going to be awful, given that everything else they touched has been awful, right? And I have to say, on what they've done thus far, it's a good fan film interpretation of Pike and his crew, and it's like, you got to remember, it's based on Pike and his crew. It's not them, right? I mean, look, Transporter Chief Carl is like a skinny Asian dude now, you know. I mean, yeah, Uhura looks like a little boy. It's weird. So this is a bit of a Uhura episode. But yeah, so this is like this. So again, when I first started watching it, I was much more antagonistic because I thought they were going to just annoy me. So we got a reasonably good, cheap planet. You know, desert is probably out in LA somewhere. You know, 5 minutes drive. You know, makeup and costume probably on hand. Cheap as chips. And then, you know, you see this thing in the sky. And there's a comet. So Uhura has been invited, and yeah, I'm immediately put off because I really don't like how they made Uhura look. Right, Uhura should totally look sexy, right? And yeah, I'm right. I am objectifying her because Lieutenant Uhura, who has been spank material since the dawn of time, darling. What do you want out of me? Nichelle, whatever her bloody name is, piece of ass. No, she's always gorgeous, right? And the hair is just terrible, right? Hair really annoys me, right? And yeah, she's not a bad-looking girl, but like they really defeminize her, right? So this is the problem thus far with Strange New Worlds, that its characters are and their representation are all pretty woke, right? I get the feeling that from the writing the series Bible and the scripts, the needle had moved quite a lot, right? And they cut it out. But you still have the leftover characters. So anyway, Uhura's been invited to Pikes for dinners, like being invited to the captain's table, and Lieutenant Lesbian or Tiger. I mean, like, really, whatever. She told her it's dress uniform, and then she turns up in her sweats. Is like, I'm just hazing you. Hey, I'm a lesbian. I mean, it's really, yeah, we know. I really am. I like to munch carpet. Yes, darling, we can tell. And he's like, yeah, so they're hazing you. We got to go there. So she's in she's very nervous, right? And I kind of like what they're doing with the character. I just wish they made her look hot. Every time I see her, I'm like, Why don't you have an afro? What's wrong with you? You could look so hot. It annoys me. But anyway, I don't. And like, if you had a little bit of hair, you wouldn't look like a little boy. Your head wouldn't look so big. This is not a good look for you, darling. I don't know what to tell you. Fine. But the character is really quite interesting. So, and we learn a lot about character. And what they're doing this episode, they're drawing characters, which I like them doing, and they're making them three-dimensional, and they're making you care about people slowly. Which I have to listen. I don't want to be a dick. I have to say that. I think we've won the culture war here as well, guys. So anyway, she's going to. I know it doesn't look like it because look at this shit. Like, look what's actually on the screen. It looks woke as fuck, right? But it doesn't act it. It's so weird. It's so weird, right? You know how we've had stuff that's like looked like Star Trek but hasn't acted like it? Well, this doesn't look like it so much, but it's kind of acting, trying to act like it, right? But look, you just got to get used to the characters, right? And but they are so annoying, though. Fuck me. So she makes it to Pike, and Pike's like, we're dressed uniform. I like Pike, right? I like this crew. I mean, apart from the maybe get rid of Lieutenant Lesbian and Lieutenant Little English Woman. They can both go. Replace them with blokes. Number one's there. You know, again, this is so different from Pike because she's always smiling. She's supposed to be like Vulcan, right? She was like the human computer, right? And so, okay, I like what they do with the character though, and the way her acting is excellent, right? As a kind of like fish out of water. Yeah, she tries to like hook up with people, and then she sees the chief engineer. So apparently he's not. I remember from Enterprise that this was it, not a type of Andorian called Anaran, and he's blind, but he's got super senses. I think with that Spock throws him a knife or something, and he catches it. And again, none of these people look like who you think who they're playing or act like them. But I mean, look at this. It's kind of fun, right? It is kind of fun. I like, if I could have unclenched, I would have enjoyed it more, right? And it's hard to unclench with that stupid fucking haircut. What's wrong with you, darling? Right? What is wrong with you? Right? So they go around, and she talks to Spock, and Spock says, what was it saying about, you've beat out a lot of people to be here. Oh no, they'll take the piss out of her. Then she says in Vulcan or Anian or Andorian, you guys really need to get out more seriously, because they'll take the piss out of her. Anyway, dinner, and they're talking. Dinner, and they ask her where she thinks she'll be in 10 years, right? Spock is trying to understand humor. All this stuff is good. Nurse Chapel, always awesome. I prefer in uniform, and I like a lady in uniform, don't get me wrong. Always like, I like that she's sexy. Oh my God. Again, nothing to do with Nurse Chapel in Star Trek, right? It's totally different. So she talks this whole thing about, like, she doesn't even know she'll still be there, right? And she, so then, you hear a story that she was going to stay in Kenya and go to the Kenya. And again, I love that they added this into her character. It's a different character, but it's interesting, right? So it's her parents were teachers at this Kenyan university where she was going to go to, but her parents and her brother all got killed in a shuttle accident like 3 weeks before she was supposed to start there. And it was like she couldn't be in the university. So that's why she signed up to Starfleet. She turns out to be like a complete genius in languages, right? In a Rodney Tron. It's not so in her, mate. Rodney! Brace yourself, Rodney. What was I going to say? Well, so that's why she ended up in Starfleet, right? It's I even wrote like that's when I started to unclench it. It's like, well, that's good character development, and nobody's being woke and annoying. It's like people are like they're trying to approximate how people act again. I quite like that, right? Oh yeah, here's her telling a story, and like, oh man, what's with it? Like sideburns, it looks so stupid. Yeah, 1 second. Look at Leonard Nimoy Spock. Let me just look at a picture of him. I'm like, where did they get this thing from? It just looks weird. Okay, come on, let's have a look. Is there a side view anywhere? Because I've never noticed those sideburns like that, right? I mean, like, no. What are they bloody thinking of? Was it more in the, yeah, okay, I'm looking at it right now. No, there was nothing like that. I don't understand. Like, what are they thinking? Having said that, everyone is a complete genius in modern Star Trek, says Rosen Payne. I suppose that's how they avoid selection of Starfleet. Well, I have to tell you, I've always thought Starfleet was always the best of the best. It was always the best of the best around the Enterprise, whereas Doctor Who, like, kind of skirted off with a lower second or something. He didn't give a crap. So that's, I can't say it's a new thing in Star Trek, right? I really want to be fair, right? I really want to be fair to this. So Spock's listening to the story, and so she speaks. There's 22 languages in Kenya, and she speaks 37, right? So Spock on the way back, says, well, that you actually beat out thousands of people to get this place. If you're not sure you want it, maybe step aside for somebody who wants. Like, it was his dream all his life. It's a lot of people's dream all their lives to be in Starfleet. If it's not something you want, I mean, no offense, maybe get away for somebody who it really is. So then again, we get into like this interesting character drama with Pike, and number one's been flat as anything so far. But Pike, he talks about how knowing people are going to die, right? Knowing how he's going to end up in that chair. And he's like, well, why don't you change the future? Look, I remembered the names of the people, the cadets that I saved. Well, there's this one and that one, right? I got to be there to save them, right? So then they get called to the bridge, and there's a comet going by, right? And then they're going to hit a planet, but it's just, and you see it hit the planet, whoosh! But it was just a simulation. They're winding it back, and they're watching it now, right? So they got to work out. It's a pre-warp civilization. That's the one we saw at the beginning. So they got to work out a way of getting out of the way. So they say, what's the options? They said we could make. They want 4 ion drives, and they could. It's like we got to work out how to save them. And he goes, again, lovely little bit of character development. He says, hey, I love this job, right? We got to move the Comet to save the pre-war civilization. I love this job. I like this, right? I like his like easy charm. It's nice. So they fire these 4 photon torpedoes with ion cannons, so to move it, and it hits it, but it's got shields on it, right? They're going, why does the Comet have shields, right? So then we get the titles. The aesthetics of this show, which we see a lot of this week, right? I look at this, the impulse drive. It's so gorgeous. Like the Star Trek soul in me. This is something I've always wanted to see. It's so beautifully rendered. And I expected this to be purdy, right? But it's more than that. It's not shit. What can I tell you? Not shit. And it looks beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This episode actually looks, again, I love the grills. Look at the grill. They look so good, right? Oh my God. It's a beautiful attention to detail.
I love the design of the ship. I love this version of Enterprise. If I could build a life-size Enterprise, it would actually be this one, right? It's beautiful. So anyway, they scan the surface, and there's a big structure in it, like mostly under the surface. So they're going to send an away team. It's Uhura's first time on an away team. They're also sending Kirk's brother, who's got a moustache. He tries to talk Pike into getting one. Again, it's reasonably good banter. I don't like the security. Yeah, her. Like, and she's been on a lot of stuff, right? It's just one stunning and brave woman too many, right? They got the balance off. They could have. I mean, I think they needed a male character, right? And I did think her and the Hellswoman are too box ticky, right? And it's a shame, really, because that's really the biggest problem with the show. So they're gonna have to try and work out like what's going on. Then do they beam down, or are they going to take a shuttle? Anyway, so Uhura's like, I don't know what we're gonna do. I'm shit scared. How can I do this? And she looks a little bit old to be like this, right? She looks like she's acting like she's 18. So they get suited up with the shuttle, and again, Nurse Javelin in uniform. She's got a fantastic body. I just like she did win Australia's Next Great Model. Quite rightly so. She looks freaking awesome, right? Do like that look. And I like kind of like the dark under the very, very light hair. And she does have that Emma Stone crazy chick kind of look going on. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because I find her so not sexy, this woman, right? So it's like so not interested. I'm not that interested. Anyway, she gives it. They got like 3 hours before their brains turn to mush. They got this thing they got to inject it. Basically, Nurse Chappell's here injecting them. Fine. It's what she does each week. She does something to the people each week. That's Nurse Chappell's job. I don't give a shit. She looks gorgeous, right? Yeah, okay, have her in longer, right? I'm looking, and it seems they're going to have individual like character episodes. This episode really is an Uhura episode. But again, it's not Uhura. It's somebody else. And he's like, I can take the pain. She takes the piss. She takes the piss a lot. I don't know if I'm like super turned on by the character, so I like her, or I like her and I'm super turned on. My guess is I'm probably super turned on. I like her. That forgives a lot of things. So I like how shit scared Uhura is. So she goes to the transporter, right? It's a nice bit of character development. It really genuinely is. Is it any good or not? It's this one is the dials at 0, right? It's not. It's not. This is not like I gotta see more and more, right? I will. I'm happy I have to watch this for the channel because it looks so freaking gorgeous when you see it. Anyway, so Transport Team Carl. Look, it's not Star Trek. It's a parallel universe, right? And he beams them up, and she was like, you see her scared like before she beams up, and I love that. So they beam onto the surface, and they make it to this structure, and I work out to turn up the light, right, so we can see it. They didn't turn it up. I did that so we could see the set. I turned up the gamma, so they're looking around. Then there's an energy build-up. What's going on? So the structure's mostly underground. They find an egg. It's never good news when you find an egg, right? And so Kirk's brothers, look, what do you think the symbols are? Do you think they're decorative or do you think they're language, right? And so she's like, I don't know. I was like, well, you know, Xeno languages. You got to let us know what you think. And so she starts looking at it. And he's like, I think it's language. And she says there's repeated patterns, and it looks like this will be this, and this will be that. And so he's liking it. He goes up and checks it out, and Spock says there's an energy build-up. Whoa, wow, womp, and he's zapped and not doing very well. I can't. What happened to George Kirk? I really can't. I can't remember. I mean, I'll guess it. I'll look it up at some point, right? So they do emergency beam out. What's going on? And they realize they can take their helmets off. So they're like, okay, beam out. But they try, but what's going on? I like that defibrillator mode. I like the tricorder does that. Yeah. I kind of knew he was going to survive because I can't. I should go to look. Hey, you know what? Let's look up. Let's look it up right now. Oop, go over here. Captain Kirk family. What's the name of? Is it George Kirk? Well, I'll just put Captain Kirk brother. Let's have a look. See what it says. Captain Kirk brother. Doink. George Kirk, right? Fine. Well, so let's have a look at. I thought it was George. Does we have a link to his? Fine. I'll just George Kirk. George Kirk. Okay. Let's see what it says. It says it was his father. This article about James E. Kirk's brother, George Samuel Kirk. I got the right one. Fine. So George Kirk was a human Starfleet officer in the early 21st century. His father, Tiberius Kirk. George was the husband of Winona Kirk, father of James and father of James E. Kirk, and George Kirk. Right. Fine. All right. He had attached there as well. Fine. There we go. George Samuel Kirk was the male human scientist, Starfleet officer. He was married to Aurorian. They had 3 sons, including. So, what episode was this in? Do they have when he died? What? Come on, I'm sorry. I'm looking on the wiki. I'm trying to find out the what episodes this is. Operation Annihilate. Man, I'll watch that again tonight then. Okay. Fine. So he survives this, right? So we know he survives it. Okay. I thought he did. So they can't beat them up, and they're freaking out. Oh my God! The shields are up. We're all gonna die. It was kind of like that. So they try. They try and do whatever they can to stabilize him. Where's my notes gone? Hang on. Where's my notes? Jonah Groats. Fine. So they work out. They got to try and make sense of the comet. Meanwhile, on the planet's surface, it's dry out, right? And they look up there. Oh, what's going on? Anyway, and they just wait and see. I think. Anyway, so he's like, we got to work out a way of getting them up. What's it? They're analyzing all the different things, and then okay, so and she's checking the markings, and they're making a language, and it feels like some kind of mathematical sequencing, right? Language. Fine. So they're trying to work out what to. And all of a sudden, they get hit by something. They turn around, and there's again. Look at it. I freaking love this. I just really like the design. I think it's really, really nice. They turn around, and there's a big ship that's going to blow them up. Right? They're going to blow them up. They're trying to use phaser harmonics to get the way team up. Anyway, so they beat a big ship, and they got these they're called shepherds, according to the Universal Translator. Well, they're escorting the comet, the Manheat. They're called shepherds. It's kind of like their religious duty, and they're not allowed to. And if anybody interferes with it, they will kill them. They but you don't understand. It's gonna hit that planet, right? It's and Killer says, look, if the Manheat, it's called the Manheat. If it decides to go this way and hit that planet, it will do that. It is the will of the Manheat. It only does good. It is for the good of all. Right, so that's their religion, and they if they interfere, they'll destroy Enterprise. So they scan them. The ship is like a gazillion times stronger than theirs. Right, it's faster. It's got more guns, and they'll destroy them if they try and save the landing party as well. So again, it's kind of a good Star Trek-y standoff, right? It's like, well, what do? You have a much stronger ship. Seemingly religiously intolerant. Your people are going to be killed by it, and a whole planet killed by it. And Lieutenant Lesbian, it's just kind of annoying, right? I'm sorry. She's this show's Detmer. If you don't know who Detmer is, oh God, don't ask. Fine. So they trying to come up with solutions. Of how they can get them out. And they keep trying to talk them down, but it doesn't work. Meanwhile, on the planet's surface, Uhura is like humming away nervously, right? And Spock says, tries to give her a pep talk because she's humming nervously, and he's like, and he's very bad at it, right? Lieutenant Smug, she is Lieutenant Smug. She really is. Oh God, she's so irritating. So she's that's not really the best pep talk, and so she's like humming an old song from like the Kenya, and it starts to respond. It starts to like hum back sing back at her, right? So she's like, I think this is some kind of resonance, and she says, okay, well, we're going to try. And then they pick up a signal on Enterprise being beamed out from the ship, and they said, what is that? It's a song. And it's an ancient Kenyan song. It's like, well, what's the chances? It's going to be transmitting. Hi, I'm a lesbian. I know. An ancient Kenyan song. If it's got to be something to do with Uhura, right? And so she starts singing more, and it responds more. It's a little bit cringe, right? Here's the thing: it's a little bit cringe, but like. And they keep saying how she must be a genius, and there is the Ein, but again, it's not like Discovery or Picard. This just seems to be like trying to tell a reasonably bland Star Trek story. I think they're just trying to establish the characters, right? So they need more people to sing. The more people sing, and they can get more to do more. And all like so, it's all very pretty. So now they've got to try and work out. So they sing more, and it starts to open up, right? And they're like, "Well, what's going on?" And they scan it. That's what's going on. So they work out the music is language, right? The thing speaks in music. And it's quite a. I can imagine like Harlan Ellison having an idea like that in the original Star Trek, right? It feels like, remember those 70s novels? They were somewhat hard sci-fi novels. They were quite good. So they work out they need to start singing, and the more they sing, the better things get. And then. As they say, they work out the right song thing. The shills come down. It brings the shills down, and they emergency beam everybody up. And in comes back Nurse Chapel. Still looks hot. Still looks hot, and they save George Kirk to appear in Star Trek later in another day. Then Pike's like, okay, red alert, shields up. We have to save the planet and stop them somehow, right? Now they got the people up. So, but the security chief wants to warp out, and she's like, we can't take them on. It's like we can't let the planet stay, right? And so we have a great fight sequence, right? It's a really good little like evasive maneuvers. Like, look at this, real traditional. This was great. Okay, they knew what they're doing with this stuff. It's all good. All right, it's no one's been, and then look at the design. Oh man, it's so good, right? I love the grill. I love everything about this. It looks lovely, and so they're doing evasive maneuvers, and look at this, freaking crazy. Love it, Here we're on to the next one. Hang on, slides. I have to see. I always avoid reviews. until I do mine. I have to see what fandom's thinking about this one, because honestly, I look, there's much more to praise in this than there is to criticize. So I hope it's a trend, right? I see they got a episode 7 is called Spock Amok, and I did like him with the power, whatever. I thought that was all good. Again, if you're a Star Wars traditionalist, yeah, you're gonna hate this, right? It's not for you. I view this as an interpretation of Star Wars, right? Star Trek, and it is much more Star Trek than Star Wars as well, which I like. So yeah, security chief was like, run away, and it's also called Khan as well, or Noonien Singh, or something. It's like, oh, stop with that already, especially after the awfulness of Picard. So Pike wants to save the planet, but if they do anything, what's I going to say? So Spock's like saying, what's it? It's already tried to communicate with them, right? So we got to try and like make contact. What's going on? So they're trying to like sort through the data they have, but they don't have enough time, and they're being attacked again by the bigger craft, and they target their weapons and their propulsion system, right, and manage to take them out. But again, I thought, yes, I know we're looking at lots of stunning and brave women, right? I understand that, but it just doesn't seem. It seems to be, honestly, that from in between the casting and the Bible guide to writing the episode, the wind had changed in terms of wokeness. Rabbi, it's often the more masculine one who is the bottom. I don't know how we came. Really, thank you for letting me know. Oh, blimey, that was like an hour ago I was talking about that. What we're talking about, this doesn't bode well. I reserve judgment because they might turn out to be brilliant. I'm just holding my breath. I don't know what we're talking about, but okay. Okay. Fine. So Spock's scanning, doing stuff, and I can't remember why he's shouting. What's he doing there? That doesn't seem very Spock-like. Although Spock does a few non-Spocky things. Oh, he's saying he has a plan. He has a plan on how to get them to move without touching it, right? Without landing on it. So the bridge crew, Lieutenant Lesbian, right? Lieutenant Lesbian. Hi, I'm a lesbian. Really? We didn't know. Lieutenant Ortega or Lieutenant Latinx Lesbian says, I hear you want to be the best pilot in Starfleet. Okay, so here's what you're gonna do: get in front of the Comet, right? So they do like a great big. Again, she's a bit smug. I missed the real smug smile bit, but okay. But now she's stunning and brave. And she does this. I forgive it because it looks so freaking awesome. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? It's so pretty. I'm only flesh and blood. This looks awesome. And it's great. It's a really great flying sequence. Look at the nacelles. Oh, they're beautiful. I love the radar dish. They're getting me in the where I'm weak. What do you want out of me? But it does look pretty. So fantastic sequence. So they keep getting hit, and there's shields, and they have to hide. But basically, they do what they can to get in front of it. And it was a reasonably extended sequence, and it was pretty darn good, right? It was pretty darn good. See, look at this. Freaking awesome. I love it. Oh, my God. This is how I used to play with my Enterprise model in the bath. Why do I have in the bath? Well, why wouldn't I? That would just be weird not to. What's wrong with you? Why didn't you have your Enterprise model in the bath? That's what I want to know. But again, still looks freaking awesome. Okay? Still looks freaking awesome. And Lieutenant Lesbian's like, hi, I'm a lesbian. Yeah, we know. Do you think you can get in front of them? Yeah, we can. So they get in front of them, then they power down, they just have life support on and said, look, you got us. We're dead. We need your help. And he's like, well, why would we help you? You're the bad people. Says, because we're in the path of the comet now. And if it hits us, our warp core is going to blow, and it'll blow up the comet, which you don't want us to do. If you just try and destroy us, it'll blow up our warp core, which will blow up the comet. You don't want to do it. So like, fine, crap, we got to help you. Fine. So please help us. So they're like, okay, fine. And they lock on a tractor beam. And as they do, Spock sneaks out in a shuttlecraft. Another awesome bit. I mean, I'm sorry, this is all awesome. And look, the weird sideburns have got to go, right? That's just weird. It doesn't help it at all. So Spock does this idea. He flies over the comet, and he, because he has his shields on, right? It causes it to enact its own radiation increases, which makes it change course, right? So I was a bit disappointed. I thought they were going to sing it out or something to make. See, if this was a bit better, if this was written by people who had actually had a little bit more sci-fi experience, right? They would have done something a little bit more entertaining, right? If you had Ronald D. Moore doing it, he would have had to done something with song and music and harmonics or something like that, right? It would have been a little bit smarter. It's a bit dumb, but it's not offensive, right? It's not telling you you're evil. So I don't know. And I still think it's got room where it could get smarter, right? But anyway, so Spock uses the shields to encourage to make its own radiation flare up, which makes bits of it chunk off, and it'll alter course all by itself, essentially. So again, the shuttlecraft looks awesome. So again, and it was a rather extended, very cool. What's all the controls say? Extended cool sequence, which really felt had that aesthetic just right. I think it has that prequel aesthetic, yet being a modern show just right. So they goes on for a while. And fine, and so and it changes the course of the asteroid, and everybody's nice and happy. It's gonna miss the planet. Oh, God, see, they don't help themselves with this. Really? Why? I mean, I'm trying to be nice to you. Really? Okay, Rebecca Rain, you were pretty hot, and when you were all painted blue, so I'll give you a pass. Anyway, so they all smile because they did their job well, and the comet misses the planet, and a bit chunks off. Then, so this is the incredible bit. Then, so this is the bit where they actually end up having good writing. Prepare yourself. This is incredible. A bit of the comet chunks off, and it goes into the God. Really? Why? They don't have enough chicks on there. Had to bring in a new what's the one? Communications. Really? Couldn't that have been a bloke? No. Anyway, so they meet them, and it says and a big chunks off, right? And it infused the planet, and now the planet's going to be fertile, right? And so the monks show up, and they so the monks show up, and they say, you shouldn't be so dismissive of other faiths. We were completely right? The HEM 2 or whatever it's called only worked for the good. It did exactly what it was supposed to do, right? And now it's sent all this. It's irradiated the planet with water. It's like God gave it tons of water, so it can now grow better. He's like, you're right. So this big bit of asteroid breaks into, and now for the first time they get rain, right? And there's going to be much more vegetation and foliage and growth. They're basically making that planet fertile, right? They're basically making that planet so it's a viable planet now. They're turning it into more of an M-class planet. So it worked out very well, all by accident, or did it? Was it all by accident? So hi, I'm a lesbian. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Then I like the design work on all this. So Uhura starts doing research into everything. There we go. On to the next one. Finally, doink. And she says, I made an insane discovery, right? This is an absolutely insane discovery. The message they were giving us was, I don't know, so it was like some kind of mathematical thing that showed them that showed it its path, and it showed the path that actually went, right? And it said also it called out this chunk of ice that came off us, right? It told us about the chunk of ice, and then compared it to the chunk of ice that actually came off us, it was identical. Somehow this comet knew the future. They knew that Spock would use its shields to maneuver the comet that'll make the piece of ice come off. So it knew about its destiny. It knew what was going it was going to happen. And I like that kind of interesting mystical take on it, right? I think that was a good idea. I think that was very, very cool that it was like somehow the crazy religious monks ended up being right? And this thing was a great benefit to the world, to society, right? So I thought, I thought that was very good. And they're like, well, that's weird, right? This book's like, well, this is a strange new world thing. So I missed that one point, right? So Spock was asking earlier on about why people would laugh when they make mistakes. Sometimes it goes so wrong, you have to laugh at yourself. So. He at the end of him, on the shuttle, he laughs and like, well, why is he doing that? He says, well, experimenting with laughter because sometimes things go wrong. You have to laugh. He's just trying to laugh it off. He's trying to understand emotion essentially, which I thought was quite a nice character piece. So then they have again. This is very good. I'm looking at it now. It's got a nice 360 continuum. This is a good parallel to the scene at the beginning where he was walking with Uhura and saying, like, if this is not where you want to be, fine, you should go because there's so many people who desperately want to be here. So now he walks her again and says, you know what, we need you to be here. We want you to be here, right? We want you to want to be here. You're a massive asset to Starfleet. And it was a great little character moment as they grow together. It is weird, however, that Uhura and Spock do end up sort of together, right? So then we have a nice little coda at the end, which was really important to Pike's character, where he's realized that this comet knew its own destiny, just like he knows his own destiny, and yet he isn't. The comet, just as the comet wasn't shackled to what was inevitably going to happen, because he opened itself up to destiny. He should do the same thing. Maybe he can change the fate, right? You have no fate but what you make, which is basically what number one says. So then it ends up, he calls up the name of all the people he knows he saves, and they're like 15 years younger now. They're all young, right? And he's going to try and find some way, I think, of changing his fate, which I think would be great. I think would be great because it makes it a qualitatively different show, right? It separates it from the Star Trek canon, which is, I think, what they might want to do and what they need to do. So, look, it was a bit bland, okay? It was a bit bland. It was a bit simplistic. The story could have been a bit cleverer, right? It wasn't what bad, right? I mean, like it wasn't woke. It wasn't woke, right? And so, if they're trying, I think we should give. Listen, I'm looking forward to next week's one right now. I'm intrigued to see. Well, let's have a look at what the synopsis is next week. It's what Star Trek? Can it be a Nurse Chapel episode? We want a bit of that. Nurse Chapel has to have lots of showers. Yeah, to get rid of some alien plagues. Nurse Chapel has to shower for a long time. Strange New Worlds in lots of different showers. So they got a whole bunch of photos. So Ghosts of Illyria, 10 photos. Okay, it's is that Vulcan? No, that's just number one. My mistake. Okay, they got nice new jackets. There's a red shirt. Is he going to die? Ensign Lance during the away mission. Oh, I hope they kill him. I hope the red shirt dies. That'd be awesome. That would be really awesome. We need more of that. So it looks like it's a bit of a number one episode. It's good because there's not much about a character going on. Oh, okay, yeah, it's a number one episode. I like this doctor as well, Dr. Mbenga, right? Dr. Mbenga. What's Harm's Way? On Amazon.com. It's a novel. That means if Dr. Mbenga's in it, we're getting Nurse Chapel. Oh, a bit of Nurse Chapel action. Well, the picture's a bit distorted. This is a sacrilege. Sacrilege, they would distort the picture. Here's a clip preview, blah, blah, blah. No. But don't we have a synopsis? Okay, USS finally! Oh my god, that was like pulling bloody teeth. The USS Enterprise encounters a contingent that ravages the ship. One by one, the entire crew is incapacitated, except for number one, Una Chin Riley. I don't know who that is. Number one is Una Chin Riley, who must now confront a secret she's been hiding as she races to find a cure. Okay. That sounds like it'd be okay. I mean, listen, it might be woke as hell, but so far, they kept it to an absolute minimum, right? I mean, just if they could make Uhura look sexy, that'd be much better, right? My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.